Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and today we've got a very, very special guest on, and I'm so excited for this one. With me today, I've got Kieran, Key 5, whatever he wants to be called this week.
Wagwan.
I don't know. Wagwan. And today we've got Joe BEARDSALL. How are we doing, mate? We all right?
I'm good. I appreciate the very, very special two berries. I don't know what that will, Kieran, but I ain't got old fancy. I'm too old for all that. I know I'm on TikTok just about, but I've been calling it clock for the last 6 months.
He's never done that. He's never done that, have you? Yeah, yeah, that's it. Oh, what? I'm not letting you forget that. There we go. We're going to delve straight in, mate, because, lack of a better word, I've been stalking you for the last week to try and figure out what I'm going to ask you. So
at least you're only a week.
Yeah. So I know you started off, or correct me if I'm wrong, on radio, which is
I did,
wild.
Yeah. Dern FM back in the day.
Yeah.
Dern FM. Yeah, I love Dern FM.
How did that start?
It were a bit random, really. So I was working at Barnsley College, which I loved, in their international department. I'd done some apprenticeships, but I'd always had a dream of doing radio since I was a young lad. Watching Erstie's Daily Dose on Galaxy, then Capital. Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I grew up with that. Yeah. You know, Erstie, Danny and Jojo. And just the joy they brought to your day. You know, when you're having a rubbish day, they were brilliant.
Yeah, you're bringing back some memories.
Yeah, I know. I know. When it was warm the other week, I saw that Stephanie Hurst put on something like Scorchy on social media. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember those days. Like when it was hot and you put sound, get your music up, it was great. But yeah, so I love them. They brought me so much joy growing up as a young'un. And I just love that idea of these guys talk for a living and they just have a laugh and they bring joy, similar to what we're doing right now. And so, I was always open to that idea. And then out of nowhere, I got a sort of call to say, someone has recommended you to potentially do work in media. And at the time it was for a newspaper, I think it was. And I'm like, this is a bit random, but you doors open, you see what, you see what happens. And anyway, I met up with this lady who was working for, I think she was working for Capital actually at the time. And I said to her, look, I just got passionate. I'd love to do radio. I'd love to do radio. I love my job at the minute, but that's always been my dream. And she was like, well, we'll see what happens. And then, next thing I know, Dern FM are interested. Yeah. Gave me an apprenticeship, bless them. And, I was completely, didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. But, thankfully, they were a brilliant team there who, a team that were just fantastic, really talented, who have gone on to do, great things in radio. And I was so blessed to have them so I was just a Barnsley lad with a big gob and they turned me into an half decent journalist, half decent reporter, half decent sort of presenter.
Do you remember your first episode, Joe?
I read all over?
No, the first ever radio show, just first ever. Do you remember it?
Well, I started as a journalist, so I wanted to be a presenter, which I think everybody thinks, presenter's the cool job. I want to be a presenter. And then when I said journalist, I was like, I don't know is that my thing, but I actually loved it. Yeah. So, I remember the first interview I did, it was really something about cycling in Barnsley, actually, which I'm not a big cyclist. No. And I was really nervous because I'd never interviewed anyone in my life, so asking them anything was quite a nerve-wracking thing, but managed to get through that, and then you get a bit used to it, and then comes up the Vox Pops. Oh, the Vox Pops, that's where you go into the street and you have to ask people questions. Oh, okay. And that's where it gets a bit but Barnsley folk, best, I know I'm biased, but best folk on earth. So I love doing it in Vox Popping in Barnsley because you're always going to get a fun answer or a character who's going to give you an answer, whatever it is.
I love that one where it's what's your favourite Barnsley phrase? And I'm like, I know all of them. Our lass from Huddersfield, she's like, what does that mean? I'm like, we'll talk about it later. It's too long to explain.
I had to explain it by gun to someone.
I
love doing them videos. I love doing Barnsley phrases. They're one of my favourites. But and then after that, basically, I absolutely begged the producer. I was like, look, you know how much I love Barnsley FC. I'm such a big Barnsley fan, season ticket holder. Please, 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 can we have a Barnsley show? Yeah. I'm like, okay, maybe, we'll see. Let's get you a bit more experience. And, I have to be patient. But then, bless him, he said, no, go on, then we'll do it. So I started off with a short segment, which was 2 minutes on a Thursday or Friday, which was just a weekly roundup, just to get me started. And then, they gave me a fantastic opportunity to launch Red All Over, which is still going today. I think, is it probably about 10 years now?
Yeah, it's been wild.
I remember watching it in school.
Wow. Thanks. I just feel really old now, Kieran. Cheers for that.
You were, high school. I think you guys were a big part of my sort of childhood and well, not childhood to say teenager years. I will say.
I'm not that old, mate.
But,
It did explode during COVID, if I remember right, didn't it? A lot more people started watching.
Well, what happened was we did it on radio for a few years. Absolutely loved that. It was an hour on a Friday. And then there were lots of changes to radio world across UK, and it got to a point where basically, you know, there were changes in terms of, there was a merger and greatest hits now. Sort of
I can't remember. I remember Andy speaking about something that.
But anyway,
I
took redundancy, which, you know, I left on really good. Everything was great, and I decided I just wanted to go in a different avenue. Felt it was right time. You know, my faith's a big part of my life, so I prayed about it and felt, this is the time now. You've had your fun. It's been amazing. It's been brilliant. You've loved it, but now's the time to move on. But one thing I weren't ready to let go of was Red All Over, because I felt like we're just starting with that. There's something, we've been doing it a few years, but we're just starting, and there's potential. And then obviously pandemic, it were around that time. So yeah, when sort of things were changing with radio, I said to him, look, are you going to be doing a sports show when I leave? No. Can I take Red All Over? Yeah, they were brilliant with that. Yeah, you can have you can keep Red All Over, but obviously you're going to have to run it yourself and run it, find a new place to put it. So it's not going to be on radio, obviously. So just said to Andy and Al and Josh, shall we have a crack at YouTube? You know, I've no idea what I'm doing.
Did you ever intend for it to be like a video show, or it just always radio?
No, it were always going to be. It always started as radio, but then we just thought we'll do it, and we did it in pandemic, and. To be honest, it got us through.
It's best stories, isn't it, though, where you just start something, you think, come on then, let's just have a go.
It's that not giving up as well. Not letting things get to you like, in terms of that way. Like, just, all right, we'll find a way. We'll find a way to continue.
Yeah.
When you're passionate about something, it shows with you guys as well when you were doing that. You just want to carry it on in any way you can.
I'll always say this, it's the random moments as well, where you did it on a Sunday morning, you always said, I've got my bacon butter. Every Sunday morning, every Sunday, and I was like, do you know what? I always remember that for some reason. Do you know, it's just bits like that.
Well, you know, lads always, give me lots of praise for being so professional with my bacon sarnies and turning up on time and all. But we always had a laugh, and I mean that's the thing that, me, Andy, and Al and Josh we obviously kicked it off, and it just loved every minute of it. Like to spend that time with lads on Zoom. Particularly in them early days, it was just a laugh. Yeah. And I'm sure, similar for what you guys do here, just having a laugh with your mates. And it's so important. We talk about it a lot, but it did as much for us as it probably did for people watching. Yeah. Just absolutely loved it. And then once we got out of the pandemic, we were like, right, how can we take it a step further? And it's so interesting what you said there, Kieran, about when you get these moments where things change, you can easily just go, it's changed now, let's let it go. But the passion from, not just myself, obviously Andy and Alan and Josh as well, to say, no, let's figure it out, let's get through this. And the amount, it's grown from there. We never expected, we thought it was big. We thought this is, doing FM, it's amazing, we're happy with this is brilliant. Yeah. When it went into YouTube, it just took off. So many more people watching, people were, sort of like getting involved with it and wanting to be involved with it. Yeah. It's just absolutely incredible.
I mentioned it on Andy's episode. I used to live up there, up that street. Not going to mention which street I'm on, but...
don't go out of your house and direct.
I always remember, because my back window looked onto like houses and that, and they had an extension with full glass. Your show were always on there, 60-inch telly every weekend. Every single weekend, and I'm thinking, I know them boys. Do you know what I mean? It's madness to think that people are watching you, and it was part of the reason why we started this. Yeah. Because I just think I want to make that same impact now. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And I think I told you at Wimbledon, didn't I? After the game, I said, you've proper inspired us to do this. So.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Well,
and
credit to him.
I just feel really sorry for watching me on a 60-inch screen, but that's all I could get from that. But no, I really do appreciate it, Reece. It means a lot, and that's the thing I said to lads when we first launched it. This is not just a flash in the pan sort of. We're just going to do it for a bit. Let's commit, because Barnsley deserves, fans to have a voice and a place to speak. Yeah. And what I've loved about it is now there's quite a few. There's you guys and there's others, and it's amazing that we've got all these fans. And I've been saying, we talked at club about, we want club to be getting as much involved in. Fair play to John Flatman this week. He's been on a few different bits and bobs. Hopefully you guys will get him on this sofa sooner or later.
No comment.
It's a good cup of tea, John. It's a good cup of tea. So or coffee. I mean, I'm sure Reece can make a coffee for you.
Yeah, we're not going to mention another director that we tried to get on, but we're not going there yet. We're not gonna out that person just yet.
More than welcome. But you are right. It is about we said this ourselves. I think we said it with Be the Tyke as well, didn't we?
Yeah, right.
It's about sort of we've all got these platforms now, and it's amazing the support we get from people at home. But we also almost are the intermediaries between the club and the fans now. And it's like I'd love them guys to sort of come on and be a bit more active with us and just.
I've mentioned I want Julianne on. Purely to talk about her. Yeah. Where's she come from? Because nobody really knows who she is. They know why she's here, but they don't know who Julianne is. They just think she's a director who makes bad decisions, and it's like she doesn't.
It's like we find with our audience, because people feel like they know us, so they can easily connect to us.
Yeah.
And I think it's an important thing.
Well, this is the thing, is it's this sort of media now that is where everybody is. We're all on his phone scrolling, whether you like it, whether you agree with it. It's just the reality that we're all on his phone scrolling. And of course, like traditional media, I made this point, I read all the other day, traditional media is still very important. Your BBC Sheffield, we all watch and listen to that as well and things like that. But this is where a lot of fans are consuming the content.
Yeah.
So as a club, they need to be in that space to as much as possible. I know there's a desire to do that. I think it's just getting to that point where people feel comfortable doing it on a more regular basis and stuff. Because communication's so key. I use the Wrexham example. Yeah, people are going to say, well, they've thrown loads of money at it. Well, they haven't. But that's made a big difference. It's probably number one difference. But both Ryan and Rob have been so involved in community as well.
Yeah,
they've been doing interviews. They've been from day one.
As much as it absolutely pains me to say, they have done a good job. Because it's something about Wrexham. I don't know what it is. I'm just like, I just don't like it. Yeah.
See, I've watched all the documentary. I love Wrexham. Yeah. Like you said, with Ryan and Rob and everything. Do
you know what? I'll watch the documentary and I'll probably change my mind.
Yeah. This is it. But we said that, but if it happened to us, we'd be absolutely buzzing. And that's a good point. It's that communication that you can tell they actually really care.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying our owners don't. We just need to see a bit more. And I think it's an interesting one. You mentioned Julianne there. I really like Julianne.
I do. Yeah, I do.
From day one when she came in, she did an interview with us, and I just really warmed to her. And I know for a while she was on Twitter. I didn't agree with the stick that she got. I thought it was.
We've called that out numerous times.
Shocking. I get that fans get frustrated. I get that. I'm a fan. I get frustrated. But there's a line, and I think sometimes that gets crossed on.
I've always said, Joe, constructive criticism I'm happy with. Yeah. Just when it turns to abuse, it just disgusts me, and I'm just like, there's no need for it, especially to younger lads. They just don't need it. They're learning. It's like, do you make mistakes in your job? Well, yeah, it's like that's their job. They're going to make mistakes. It's just, unfortunately, it's on a bigger scale. Yeah. So just deal with it and just chill out once in a while. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm similar to you. I can't stand seeing abuse online. I've blocked numerous people on Twitter purely because they're just like, there's no need for it. Yeah. No need for it whatsoever.
But I'm not on it, to be honest, much anymore. And I used to be on it all the time, but mainly because I find that text communication, I think, can be misinterpreted and can sometimes escalate something. Whereas I think this sort of communication, you were saying before you start cameras rolling, you can see people's body language, you can see the tone. And that's what I love about doing what we do with video and things like that, is you can see the full picture, really. It's not just you can't really misinterpret too much.
Yeah, I love the fan camps because it's so many different opinions. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I think, come on, boys, like, what are you on about? But it's opinions, and if we all had the same opinion, it'd be boring.
That's the beauty of life, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. You're giving an opinion for a reason.
Yeah.
So you left Red All Over if you're happy to go into this.
Yeah, sure.
Because I know it were quite a dark period from what I remember watching.
Yeah. I mean, it got darker.
yes. But what was the reason behind leaving? Was it just stress? Was it just...
I think that I'm the sort of person that I love to just go for it with stuff and try and make it out. That Barnsley mentality that we have of, make it happen, expect more agenda, judge by your actions. And I just loved it and I had such passion. But as you guys all know from doing podcasts, doing stuff like this on a voluntary basis or, it's hard to keep it up and sustain it on a regular basis. And I love Red All Over, to the core of my heart. And like, I love all the guys, Andy, Alan, Tracy, Craig, everybody. They're all amazing. Dean, Josh, they're fantastic. But it got to a point where I'd just run it all myself. And the guys had obviously contributed in certain ways. I'm not saying they didn't, but I was doing all the editing and things. And as it was growing and more people were coming on board, it was like, oh, we could do this show and we could do this and we could do this. And they're all great ideas. But I was sat there going, I can't keep up, guys. And I think you get to a point where you do burn out.
Yeah.
So what I had to do was just sit down with guys and go, look, I'm really sorry, but I'm getting to a point where the anxiety is getting too much. And I think it's a result of burnout. I need to walk away. Like I'll come into the season just thinking, usually I come into the season really excited, like, I'm ready for this, can't wait for it all over. We'll have meetings of it summer where we have a chat, we have a laugh, that could go on for 2 hours or whatever, talking about what ideas we got for the season, how we're going to, make it good for fans. Yeah. But going into that season, I was just feeling more and more anxious. And I realise now, obviously looking back, that it was because of burnout mainly. But it were a blessing in disguise because it needed to happen for Red All Over to survive long term, which were always my plan. I always said to Andy we want to make this show for fans. I want to be laid, it sounds a bit dramatic, but I want to be laid on my deathbed, listening to Red All Over with some young and I'm thinking, well, we started all that off, but look at all the fans that have continued it on for all them years. And how amazing is that it's still there all them years later. That's my dream for it, and it still is to this day. But for that to happen, it couldn't be run by just me.
Yes.
Like, it needed to be other people. Yeah. And fair play to lads, I said to him, mate, I'll teach you how to edit and stuff. And, Josh already knew a lot of stuff, but teaching Andy and other people. I mean, Josh has always been better at it than me. I didn't say that. I call that better. But you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I had to take a break. And it were hard for me because when you've invested so much of your life and time.
It is your baby, Joe. Yeah. That's what it was.
It feels like your baby. But the truth is, it were everybody's baby. Yeah. It were Andy's baby. It were Al's baby. And I find at that moment I was struggling. So I did the right thing to walk away, and I'm glad that I did at that point. I'm glad that I'm now involved a little bit, and it's a nice balance. So they do all hard work, and I just turn up on instant reaction after the game and have a bit of a moan and a groan.
When you were saying off camera as well, doing 3 episodes a week all season long, that is such. I mean, we struggle sometimes with this, and we film once every 2 weeks. Yeah. For 2 hours. Yeah. So the workload you must have been under, I'm not surprised at all that it got
doing a full-time job and then trying to do it on top. Yeah. Like it consumed every weekend.
People just think it's the hour that you're filming. It's not. It's the hours you put in before and like who's actually scored or what's, refreshing your memory from the day before. Without the anger.
As well, the editing, nobody sees the social media side of things, the constant contact with people. Or the getting lost in emails back and forth and things.
This is it. You can spend 2 hours easily just replying to people on comments because it's good that's what you want. You want engagement on your shows, of course you do. Yeah. But if you really want to build community, you've got to respond to people, and you want to respond to people because I'm a Barnsley fan, so I love it. I love that bit. But it is just more time. Yeah. So you edit you put your show together, you spend an hour and a half editing or whatever. And then you spend an hour replying to people. Before you know it, you're like, oh.
I think you've asked me before, and your situation reminds me a bit. You asked me once what would make me give up music. And I said when it became like a job and not a passion anymore. Yeah. And I think that's the point. You need to check yourself a little bit. And
I'm probably agreeing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love doing this. Yeah. Just the different people you can meet as well. And the stories that we hear. I don't know how many episodes you have listened to or anything like that, but some of the people that come on and it's real life, and that's what I love about it, and it has helped people. And there are some really deep episodes that you think you come out of, and we've had some. One particular Jim's episode at Wrestle Wellbeing, he does a lot for mental health and wrestlers and things. And we come out of that, he says, "I thought he was your friend at college." I says, "I thought so," and he told us a lot, and we just had no idea he was going to come on and tell us what he did. And I think it's that community as well that we're building and.
It's getting all these people together. That maybe one person behind the camera might relate to that situation and go, "Oh, I'm not alone."
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then make a change in their life. Yeah. We always say, don't we? If we've done that, if we've made an impact on one person doing one of these episodes, we've done this job.
Yeah.
I've always said that.
And I feel it's the same for you guys with Red All Over. Like I say, you've built this community and things. You've made an impact on people. And like you said, on your deathbed.
To put it in perspective,
quite a few years. I know we talked about me being a bit older than you guys, but
to show what Red All Over meant to people, look at Al's funeral.
Yeah.
As obviously as sad as that was, it was amazing how many people actually turned up for him.
I know, it took me ages to get parked. I thought Alan's going to be laughing his ear off here. He'd be going, "What neck, Joe? You couldn't even turn up on time to me funeral." I did get there on time, but I could have been a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's just amazing impact. Mr. Barnsley, that's where he was.
Oh, I miss him so much. I miss him so much, yeah.
I miss his giggles on Red All Over me. I miss his opinions.
I miss his stats. He used to just come out with stats and I'd be like, I have no idea if this is correct or not, but I'm just going to assume that you've checked it out.
I can't remember which episode it was last year, early last year, and he says, that were in 1980s or something. And you're like, I can remember, were it Josh or something? We're like, what? He just fought it off the top of his head. And it's like, wow, yeah, fair play. Do you know what I mean? That's somebody who loves it, just loves everything about Barnsley.
Yeah,
and
it really were
song.
hard last year.
Yeah,
it were really hard. That's where it got worse for me. Like seeing Alan. Yeah, just it's one of my best mates, and losing him were just so hard for all of us. And I think the worst thing for me is because I never really dealt with the anxiety thing before. It kind of always lingered on then for the last few years until this last sort of year where I have dealt. This last probably 8 months I've really dealt with it properly. Yeah. And it were just getting worse and worse. And I think that, it hit us all really hard. But he's just such a legend. I mean, even when he was, really struggling getting ill, he was still there.
He was still
supporting me. He was still like, "Come on, Joe, show's got to go on. You've got to keep it. You've got to keep going. You've got to, get yourself out of this anxious state and get yourself back to
pushing." And he's still got a lot of points last year because he predicted 3-1 for every game.
I know.
And he got more points than some. And
did rubbish for seasons on end, and then now he goes and does well.
But no, how did you cope with anxiety last year? This last 8 months, have you started to cope with it better?
I think that it started when I left Red All Over. I were hoping that by coming away, that would be the end of it. I'd sort of get back to a place of sort of peace, but I realised that I didn't really fully deal with it. So it were burnout, but it was just I didn't actually fully deal with what were going off. So I had a very low level anxiety for a few years, and then last year it just got to a real head. I think just taking a lot on again, probably going too fast and not dealing with it, and I don't know. I don't want to sound dramatic, but I can't describe it as anything else other than I thought I'd had anxiety pretty bad before, but nothing like what I had last year. Like I probably have to describe it as a mental breakdown because I was like literally this time last year, I were on the sofa I were having panic attacks like every sort of hour, like shaking like a leaf, freaking out about everything, like every little detail in my life, and it terrifies me sharing it, but I feel like I need to because there'll be people who are in that state. And that's when I really realised, wow, this mental health stuff can really... And I think part of it was seeing Al, because Al's always been a light in my life. He's the joy guy. Yeah. He's the guy when you're having a bad day and you get to you think, I've had a rubbish week this week. And you see Al and he's like, Joe, comes up, gives a hug, how's it going? He would just joy. And light to all at Barnsley fans, and like you said, that's why he had so many people at his funeral because he was loved so much.
Yeah, it was.
And it really just hurt me. And I think it also hurt me that I was like, I just want to be there for him, and I want to be strong for him. And I'm I'm in a state, and he's actually got real life things. He's sort of deteriorating and stuff. Bless him. So he just hit me really, really hard, and I just had a total breakdown one day basically, and I just started sobbing.
Yeah.
And I could not stop crying. All I could think about were Al. And from there, it was just panic attack. For about 3 or 4 weeks, I was having constant panic attacks. Like, I'm talking probably about at least 10 a day, completely on edge. Yeah. Couldn't do normal tasks. I had to have some time off work. Bless them, the work were amazing with me. But, it was just like I just completely lost. I was just worried about everything. Yeah. Absolutely stupid things. Like... and I can't tell you exactly what triggered it, but I think it's probably a mix of things, burnout. I was not dealing with anxiety stuff before. But this time I did deal with it. My faith were a big part of it. praying through it and stuff like that.
I was just about to ask you, because there'll be a lot of people with the content you put out as well who might be surprised to hear that. So, but thank you for sharing, because you wouldn't think it, because you're very light on camera and you're very happy. But this goes to show that you don't know what's really going off in people's lives.
No.
But I was about to ask you, like, how did you? Because someone may find help in it. How do you deal with that anxiety? Because it's not something that ever really goes fully away, is it? But what do you do to sort of cope and things like that? You mentioned your faith, but
yeah. Well, first and foremost for me, faith and this is the hard thing, is because it's like, it says in Bible, as a Christian, it says, don't be anxious about anything. But so I'm like, I don't want to be anxious, because I'm supposed to not be anxious. But it's really, when you're in it, it's not as easy as that.
Yeah.
So I just did what I prayed about it. I remember one point I was just in such a state. And Catherine, bless her, my wife, she just put on like this really positive Christian preacher who was just like, you are, there's Jesus gives you fresh joy every morning, and you shouldn't be, don't be anxious about anything. You're loved and you value all these things. And I just laid there in a state, shaking like a leaf, but I was listening to it, and I'm just, please, Lord, just help me through this. I don't know why I'm going through it, but I'm just trusting you, Jesus, to take me through this. And sometimes we do have to go through a bit of struggle, and sometimes he'll bring us out stuff quick, I believe, and sometimes he lets you go through it so that you can learn from it. And it's not that he wants you to go through it, but he's there with you, supporting you through the storm. And that's how I felt in that moment. And I just had to force myself every day. I was just going for walks down to Worsborough and just walking around, either Lock Park or down Worsborough Res, just being on myself, just listening to positive music, listening to whatever calming stuff, and just praying. And like, it didn't feel, for about 3 or 4 weeks, it didn't feel like it were getting any better. And that were really hard, because that were really tough to be in that place for so long when, just freaking out on edge all the time and having panic attacks. I was shattered. I couldn't sleep at all because I was waking up in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, shaking like a leaf, panicking. What about this I've said, and what about this? And it just became completely overwhelming. I just prayed about it, and then it was like practical stuff as well. So like the faith stuff's important, but then you've got to look at the other side of things, and like, what can you do practically? So got some counselling, which were really helpful, and that really started to help me to get to the root of some of the things. And then I've been on antidepressants as well for last year, coming off now, and it was just also about making sure I just did stuff. So I remember at Barnsley 10K last year, I was struggling to get out of bed, lads. I never thought I'd be like that. Like, I've always seen myself as quite a strong mental character. Even when I've gone through struggles, I've always been like that sort of keep going, that mentality. I had zero strength. But like, Bruce Dyer, bless him, he was like, come on, out of bed, let's get you to 10K. And I pretty much crawled around, but I got around. And it's having people around, like Hope House Church in Barnsley, like, those guys are amazing. Like, they carried me through that time. They absolutely carried me. Just the prayer, the support, like, Paul, who's the pastor, going for walk with me around Lock Park, just checking in, making sure I'm all right. Loads at congregation, just praying for me, checking in, positive encouragement. It's all that sort of stuff. And that's what I love. I love that church to bits, because they're just decent, really nice, kind people who really care about people.
It is beautiful. Yeah, it is. I think one thing you mentioned, Joe, is being active. And I've always said it, be active. The human body is not meant to be sat down at a desk all day, or doing nothing, watching telly. It's meant to be active. We're meant to be up and about. I think it's a massive part of a lot of people that we speak to, gym or something, or running. Something helps them, and it's usually a moment, which is my next question, where they think, "Oh, I need to do something now. What am I doing?" What was your moment?
Well, I don't think in that it weren't a moment. It were kind of a period of 4 weeks, and it's just steadily got better. And then I just realised, actually, I'm getting there now.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not gonna. When you've been that terrified, where you've been on floor on your carpet, shaking like a leaf, crying, and you can't stop crying, and that's for a few weeks, you just start thinking, what am I doing? What am I worrying about? All these things. I just need to. And like I said, it goes back to my faith. Trust Jesus that He's going to get me through it. And so it was kind of a period, but I love my wife, Catherine. She's amazing. She's that sort of she's like the perfect balance between the compassionate and caring for you when you're down, but also that, come on, let's get up. So You're all right.
Yeah.
Come on, go for a walk. You know, go do a jog. Go do a little task. You know, are you all right? You know, so it's that, because you've got to get the balance right, and that's the thing. It's that balance between making sure you don't stay in that place, because that what thing, I could not stay in that place for very long, and I knew that it were terrible. So it was terrifying. So I needed to get out of that place, and the only way I could physically see her doing that is having as much faith as possible, praying every day, and just getting out walking every day, getting out jogging. So I did that for about 3 to 4 weeks and slowly started to get better. And then by about September, October, I felt good again. And
is that when you thought, do you know what? This is working. I actually feel better.
Yeah.
Is that when you genuinely thought to yourself, like, this is actually really good now?
I felt myself again for first time in about 5 or 6 years, which is quite a long time to go through that sort of anxious period. But like I said, if you don't deal with it, you can be stuck with it for a while, and you might think, it's manageable, but it's life restricting.
Yeah.
And I just realised, guys, I don't want to be living I don't want to live my life constantly held back, constantly thinking, well, I don't want to do that because what about this? And what if I do that? I might upset people and stuff like that. And it's like, if you got the values right and all that sort of stuff, then you want to do good things and be good, then just go out and do it.
There's a saying I love, and it's been proven by science as well. Anxiety, you cannot be anxious and grateful at the same time.
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Since I learned that, my life has completely changed in terms of how I think about things. If I'm ever anxious, I always try and think about something that I'm grateful for. So that if I'm ever nervous before doing a gig or whatever, I'm like, no, I asked for this opportunity. I'm really grateful to be here, and then it does send to you. I think, it's just be grateful. Be grateful for because especially in them moments, everything can feel like it's against you.
Yeah.
Everything can feel like that when we all have so many things to be grateful for in our lives, don't we? Even no matter how small, it might be something like your missus bringing you a cup of tea in the morning, or something daft like that.
Or a bacon butty.
Yeah, or a bacon butty. But hold on to if you're anybody's at home in an anxious state like that or anything like that, just try and think of what you are grateful for, because it really will help.
So one thing that I'll always say that helped me, I write 3 things I'm grateful for every single day, every morning, every day, and then it's that, and then it's a Bible verse every day underneath. So it just shows like what is actually good in life rather than what's bad. So that's
absolutely. I'm saying one of the biggest things that got me through it were that getting out of bed and just saying, "Thank you, Jesus. I am grateful today for the fact I can get out of bed. The fact I can walk." And go and have a walk. I can get some fresh air. I can listen to birds singing. And so you might think, "Oh, that's really small." Small things, but it matters, and these small things do make a difference. Yeah. And and thank you that you're going to be with me and help me through any stresses that I face and any fears. You're going to be there with me, and that's what my faith in Jesus is all about.
Furthering on from
just to
sorry, go on. Yeah, go on.
Just to ask, how long have you been a Christian, if you mind me asking?
I think. I probably became a Christian when I was about 19, but I had a rough patch in my early 20s. So I think I'd probably say that I've been sort of really following Jesus. It's always a journey. It's always a journey. So probably started being a Christian when I always had some level of faith. So my mum's a Christian, my dad's not, so it's like split in our family. Had some level of faith, kind of some understanding of it. But I think only, to be honest, even just to this last year, that's where I really felt like my faith's deepened. Yeah, I'm like, I fully get it now. And I know there's been moments in my life where things have happened and it's just, you can't explain it. And you're like, this has got to be Jesus. Like, this has got to be God. This is just, the timing of this is just, you can't make it up. Like,
I'll always point back to a time where, what these two will definitely know, where I was stressed and I couldn't deal with a certain job I was in. I remember praying and I'm just like, just give me a sign. Just give me a sign, what's happening. That same day, somebody rang me for a new role and said that I'd been offered the role, and I'm just like, never. Don't start with this. Like, that's not.
It loves to
you
do
know what
that.
I mean? And it's like, yes, let's do it.
I had a very similar experience. I remember going through a lot of doubt with my music and things like that. And I asked the same thing. I said, God, if I'm meant to do this, show me a sign. 2 days later, it was, do you want to do? I think I got booked for Tramlines, and I got 2 headline bands alive. Yeah. I was like, all right, okay, you've got me.
I think he's got a great sense of humour, mate. He's like, what is going on? And he's just like, just you it. Now, exactly the same thing happened to me when I got made redundant from radio, and I said to you that I felt like God was calling me into something different. I honestly didn't know what that was. and I didn't really know what to apply for job-wise or anything like that. And then the last week on radio, I did an interview with the charity that I now work for, Christians Against Poverty, CAP, who help people out of debt. And yeah, basically, the woman was like, oh, I interviewed her a few times about the work that CAP do. And she was like, oh, it'd be great if there were a job, I talked the situation, great if there would be a job for you, but there isn't any sort of jobs at the minute. And then she sort of put phone down, and then about 20 seconds later, rung me back up and said, you'll never believe it, I've just checked my email, there's a job in media, literally just come down from the sort of, HQ. I was like, what? Wow. So I was like, that's probably good time. Anyway, I got offered the job the day I was officially made redundant. So
wow.
His timing is perfect. It is. Even when you feel like it's not, it really is.
I think for me, it's intent as well. You've got to mean it, what you want. So I don't think you can be...
The intentions have to be pure.
He says things that I'm trying to say.
That's why we work well.
That's very, that's very good.
We bounce off each other.
So, in terms of your faith and things like that, Christ Against Poverty, where did that? Obviously, that started with just an email like that. Where's that going now? Is it going really well? Is it what's happening with them?
I mean, so Christians Against Poverty is for those who don't know, it's a charity that started here in Yorkshire, and a guy called John set it up. And basically, it's a charity that help people out of debt. They provide money coaching, they provide life skills, which is like, sort of money stuff around relationships, cooking on a budget, things like that, and job clubs. So the whole idea of it is to practical help. All of it's run through local churches. So we equip local churches to then basically be able to go out into their communities and provide support. So in Barnsley, we've got Gateway Church who provide free debt advice as an example of that. And it's just about helping people who are on the lowest income. It's not just for, it's not just for Christians. We help anyone. It's us that are the Christians. But and that's what Jesus is all about, isn't it? It's love in action. It's going out. It's doing that stuff, supporting your community. And I am so blessed to work with them. They're amazing people. I get the fun job because basically my job is to promote them in the media, which is it's great because talking to people who have gone through really difficult circumstances, and then CAP stepped in, helped with free debt advice, helped them out of debt. Sometimes they've needed like emergency energy top-ups or food if they're really struggling, they've not got any of the basics. And then, often they'll go into like money coaching and learn how to budget, and then maybe job club, get back into work. And you just see this transformation. And going back to what I said about obviously church and how much of a difference that's made in my life, being around that community when you're struggling is huge, because it is just having them people around you who are going to lift you up. Yeah,
I agree, fully agree.
With the impact you're making with things like that, there's a saying, isn't there? What is it? The Lord gives his toughest battles to his strongest shoulders. And with you going through the anxiety and things like that, and then being able to give back in the way you do, I think that's maybe why he's put you through that.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. I don't feel very strong most of the days, to be honest with you, mate. I'm just trying your best every day. I mean, that's one of the things I've done. Is just one of the main things that caused the anxiety were thinking about things. Oh, this is ridiculous, but thinking about things I'd said 10 years ago, and it's like you can't compare Joe 10 years ago. I weren't the same person I am today. Yeah, I've made loads of mistakes in my life. So now I'm in a logical, mental state, good mental state again. I can see that, but in the time it was really difficult. But yeah, I mean, I do think he helps you through things to sort of help you sort of go forward. And I don't think it was him that sort of created that. I think it was me probably created it from my behaviour. But then he was like, I'm going to help you through this. I am there with you. And that's the only thing I could. And in the worst moment, all I could feel in my head was like this, and this might sound a bit weird, but I was just like, pushing back all these negative thoughts, and it was just like, it felt like it was just me and Jesus, and he's shutting these doors. That's the image I had in my head.
Come on, Joe, shut them with me, lad.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God. But
help me out, mate. So your content in last year as well.
Yep.
It's so much fun, mate. We've spoke about it off camera. It's just a laugh watching you. And obviously, Kieran alluded to it. We wouldn't have been able to tell that there were anything going off, especially, recently and things like that. You just seem like a laugh to be around. You're a kind person. You're a really kind person. I think that's, my hat goes off to you, mate, honestly. I think you're doing a lot of good work at community, and I really mean it.
Can I ask, what's been your favourite video to do?
Oh, woman heck. I don't know.
It doesn't have to be one particular, just anything
I've done
that comes
that
to
many.
mind.
I just, Yeah, I think because, like I said, because I felt, thank you, that we really love what it said there. Because I felt restricted for 4 or 5 years. I've not felt myself.
Yeah.
And I always, when we first started with Andy and Al and Read All Over, that's when I would just be myself and I just say whatever and, just enjoy it and it was just fun. But I just felt like once I got that release, like Jesus had set me free from this. Now, I'm not saying I'm never going to be anxious again. I'm not saying that, but I do feel like I've been set free from it. And now it's like, right, okay, come on. We're gonna repay it tenfold. I am literally gonna live my life just as as much as I can to follow Jesus. I'm gonna get so much wrong, but I'm just gonna do and do as much as I can to just help people and do good and whatever, because that's what he calls us to do. And I'm constantly making mistakes every day. But now, instead of it being like, I've made a mistake, it's end of the world, I'll just go into an anxious state. I'm just like, if I make a mistake, it's okay. I trust that he'll help me through it. If I need to apologise, if I need to fix something, fix it. It's okay. Like, the world isn't ending. Like, you can get through this. The majority of things you can get through. Best videos, I just love talking to people in Barnsley. So when we do the sort of videos in town, and I loved it. I were in town other week, and I wasn't even intending to sort of be there, and then there was like something happening because it's brilliant now in town centre. Something happening in town centre. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go around here and ask about what the favourite Barnsley saying is. And I did that, and everybody were having a laugh. And somebody dressed as a shark or a dolphin, and they were having a laugh with me. And
Do you know what?
Great fun.
My missus his uncle's mechanic, and he's from Barnsley. And I go, "You all right, love?" And she can't get it in her head why I call a man love. You all right, love? She just can't get it. And it's one of them that I call anybody love.
We are a very unique.
Do you know what I mean? We're a unique breed of people.
People love it.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, I've been to numerous places. I mean, with this, it's like Birmingham. Like, you do that podcast guy. I'm like, you're right, love. Do you know what I mean? You're right. And it's accent. I mean, I've got a couple of friends in America. They love accents, and they love my accent. I'm like, I'm from town. I'm like, yeah, but it's town. They try and copy it. They can't. But it's just stuff like that makes me happy. It's really cool. And then I just point them to different shows, and they're like, can't understand them. I'm like, yeah, sometimes I can't. But I mean, we whole family over there in Huddersfield came over and come to Barnsley markets. They had no idea what anybody was saying. No idea. And it's like trying to order beef, and it's like, I want beef. You want beef?
I want beef.
So it's stuff like that.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Do you guys, when you do captions on your videos, do you ever notice that it doesn't
wild?
Pick...
I gave up.
Yeah.
I gave up.
Yeah.
Honestly. Every episode now, they're just mistakes.
Yeah, honestly, every single time.
People point them out and they were like, it's not us.
If anyone's watching from any of these sort of like social media, you need to get a Barnsley accent translator because you've got others.
The more and more that our CapCut or our AI that does this clipping can actually recognise us. I'm trying to train it in the Barnsley accent.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Spend more time on captions than hotels.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember, what did I say now in one of the episodes, and one of the comments said about it, and I'm like, literally not what we've typed up, I promise you. And it was the complete opposite of what I said.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like when we were doing World Cups, I said Madueke. It just can't pick it, it can't do it. Madueke. It's like, nope.
You know what beautiful thing about the Barnsley accent is though, and I found this no matter where I've been in the world, you'll always spot someone from Barnsley straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always, everywhere I go in the world, I'll find someone.
Yeah. I know.
It's always that, isn't it? Whenever you go on, I think I went to Mexico once, and family were from Barnsley. Okay, came over and said, "Hey, are you from Barnsley?" It turns out their season ticket always talking about football, watching Barnsley. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. I my accent changes if I'm around different people. So on phone at work, I put on an accent. And I can just remember this one specific boy call from a lad in Barnsley, an old fella. And he started talking broad Barnsley. And I'm thinking, I have to put an accent with this. But he went, "Where are you from?" I says, "Barnsley." He goes, "Me too, old cock." And that were it. We were off then. And I was chatting to him for like half an hour about Barnsley and 60s and 50s and that. And he just loved it. And I'm like, he's probably not had a conversation all day. He would just on phone me. He wouldn't let me go. And it was just nice like that. Stuff like that. You just think, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself soon, mate, in the next couple of years?
Where do I see myself?
That's a question. I would have said, we're a change of pace.
Yeah. No, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know where I see myself to me.
I'm asking questions that are in my head. I'm asking them. Leave me alone.
Where do I see myself?
Where do you see content going, do you think? Do you want to be doing the same stuff, or do you think it'll get bigger and bigger?
I don't know. I just want to do good stuff. And, you know, I said to people, my aim is not to become some big famous content creator with 1 million people. I'd rather genuinely have, you know, a couple of thousand views or whatever and a comment from someone who genuinely felt, you know, it helped them, than 1 million views and no comments and it's just people scrolling quickly and they're just going, that's all right. The first 2 seconds that were all right, so I get a like. Yeah. And I love Barnsley. And this is the thing, is I love Barnsley so much that I can't really ever see myself, you know, intentionally anyway, going any I'll do a little bits here and there, you know. I've been to New Milledam, I know, just straight out into Wakey, or you know,
I'm going to bring that up, but you know, I'm not calling you out, not today.
Edit that bit out. No, you know, all my content's Barnsley. But yeah, my intention is just to try and do positive stuff. There's so much right now. You flick news on, or you put on social media, and you're watching reels. There's so much negative content.
Yes.
And it is just so, it has such a bad impact.
It does.
But everybody's there. And we can't change the fact that people are all on social media.
Yeah.
So what we need is a lot of people who are doing positive content.
Yeah.
They're actually, you know, doing things about the good things that are happening in the community. Yeah. And I get it. Bad news sometimes gets more views and stuff.
Yeah.
But that, you know, I don't want to chase fame and views. I just want to bless people. I just want to be a blessing to other people as much as I can. Yeah. Because I feel.
I fully agree.
Yeah.
Speaking our language there, mate, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I fully agree. I'm saying, like, every week I follow a page that produces good news stories for the week, and I'll share it every week. I don't care who sees it. A load of people have, but it don't matter. It's just good news stories, like somebody's been cured of this for the first time ever. It's like something that you won't hear on mainstream news. They want to cover the bad stories for their own reasons. It don't make a difference to me.
And I think it can still be popular. I've done some video, but you know, all my stuff's positive. Yeah. And I've done some videos that I've done really well. And like, you know, it's great and it's nice, but it shows that positive does also sell. It might not sell as quickly, but it does have more of an impact. And ever since read all, that's what I always want to do. And like, you know, I just believe in Jesus wants us to be a light to people. And he saved me. He's freed me from all this stuff, the anxiety, the fear, the, you know, gambling addiction that I had before as well. So every day I just want to try.
So I live by that. It's like I can do all this through Him who gives me strength.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's my best. I love that. And it's Matthew 6:34. Do not worry about tomorrow. It'll worry about itself. Each day's got enough trouble of its own. Yeah. And I just have that replaying every day through my head.
Well, I just keep it simple. He says that obviously when it goes to buy what's the number one thing, it's, you know, it's love, innit?
Yes.
It's love God and love everybody else. That's what it says. So you do that, and then fruits of the Spirit, if you want to expand it a bit more, you know, joy, love, joy, faithfulness. I'm trying to remember them all off the top of my head. Patience, self-control, goodness, gentleness, kindness. I got them all, I think. But that's the values, isn't it? I often think we get wrapped up in this world. So many people get wrapped up in the details of little arguments, little things and pockets of things. And it's all this division, things that create division. But really, if you live your life based on, you know, if everybody followed Jesus, right, how good would the world be?
Oh, it'd be a lot kinder place.
Yeah. I mean, you can AI it if you want, let robots tell you. It'll tell you how good it'll be. Because I had a look this morning.
Do you know what, though, Joe, that we're finding a lot of guests that we do got on our turning to Jesus. There's a big
movement happening now. I saw a stat the other day. I think this is like between 18 and sort of 32, I think it's the highest conversion rate in over 200 years, something like that.
There's been more Bible purchased in the last 2 years than in the last 30 years or something like that. Some random stat, I can't remember exactly what it was. But
it's beautiful to see it coming back as well, because there was a period where it was almost, I'm not going to say it died because it never dies, but to the point where it almost wasn't, I'm trying to find the right word, relevance is it, but that's sort of what I'm on about. It was becoming a low point in life, and then it's building up and building up, and you see more and more positive things in the world, and it can only be a positive thing.
People are just looking for hope. They're looking for hope, and I think that's a big part of it. But also, you look at Jesus and everything that's written about him and who he were as a person. Who do you want to follow in life? If you want to live your best possible life, who are you following?
Fully agree.
Who are you investing your time, or what are you investing your time? What is your value? Is your value in money? Is it in fame? Is it in power? Is it in certain people, or is it in Jesus, who is, you know, the perfect, you know, the guy who loved everybody, he was compassionate, he was kind, he was gentle, you know, and...
I remember that moment for me where I thought, yes, I want to be like this guy. Have you ever seen the TV series The Chosen?
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I keep trying to get him to watch it.
You've got to watch it, it's brilliant.
Watch it. New season's coming out soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I remember watching that because I was in a low point one day and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put this on. Because I've not watched it before and I was only in the beginning journey of sort of becoming a Christian and things like that. I watched it, I was like, why would anybody not want to be like this man? Why would you not want to follow them teachings? It completely changed my life.
It's the amount of evidence out there as well. It's the amount of historical documents that you can actually read. That's bonkers that people just refute it all the time. And it's like, no, just read the documents and read the Bible and you'll understand. There's so many teachings that I read and I'm just like, wow, that is insane. Just
something people saying that is people struggle a lot when they lean on their own understanding of things and not God's.
Oh, absolutely. Every time. I've got a million examples of every time. I'm doing all right now, Lord. It's okay. I'm going to take it from here. About 3 months later, no, I'm not doing all right. I need you again. Can you come back, please?
Oh, please.
Yeah. Which is why when you ask me how long I've been a Christian, I'm like, well, I've been a Christian quite a long time, but I've been... it takes it's a journey. It's a journey for all of us, isn't it? That's the thing. And I think it'll be a journey until the day we die and probably beyond, but, you know, we can only do our best.
I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago where I really started reading and learning. I'd like to call it learning because that's essentially what it is. And since then, I remember one moment and I just surrendered. I like, just guide me, you do it. You do it, and that's it. And then ever since then, I've just been like doing this, doing that, and stopping this and making sure that's right. And that it's all come together. And now I'm just like, yeah, that's it. I'm not going back. I'm happy where I am.
Exactly. Well, imagine there'll be people watching this who had a really stressful day, might be anxious, might be feeling rubbish. Things have happened and it's like, oh, and it knocks you. And one of the biggest things is like, when something happens, I'm not saying it doesn't knock you at all, but you can always look back to, well, Jesus has got me.
Yeah.
He's here. He's helping me through this. So I don't need to worry about this because he's gonna solve it. He's gonna fix it. It might not happen instantly. It might take a day, it might take a week, it might take a few weeks, but he's gonna solve it.
Yeah. It's always one of them as well. You've got to, like we've said, intent. Do it yourself and find the route yourself, but just know that he's showing you it at the same time. So, have you got any more questions, mate? Before I ask the end.
Well, I think the one thing Jesus just needs to help us out with is Barnsley Football Club at the moment.
I'm wondering if we're going to go there and find
I tell you what. Do you know what?
It's a shame to have Joe here and not ask him about
that is
no comment.
Yeah, well, do you know what? We'll talk about Barnsley for 10 minutes then if you want to go into.
Go on then.
We don't want to trigger your anxiety again, mate. What's a successful season, mate, and how happy were you with Stendhal?
Very happy with Stendhal.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good move from club. It gets the identity, it gets the fans. It's, you know, we had talked about it on Red All the other day when I was with Dean and Andy. You know, we love him, don't we?
Yeah.
We love him.
Yeah.
He's that sort of guy. He's got that like Barnsley, even though he's not from here, he's like got that Barnsley mentality.
Great.
You know, he's an adopted Barnsley lad at heart. He's got some Barnsley in him somewhere. He's got an ancestor.
Mate.
This is it. He's got a seat with his name. We should engrave his name on whichever seat he wants. So I love him. Only thing is, has been, you know, trying to be realistic as well. It's always difficult. Second time a manager comes back, so it definitely doesn't guarantee success. Different squad that he's working with, but I think he can get a tune out of him. I think he's got that mentality. And in the situation we're in at the minute, we do need that. We need a bit of that positivity and a bit of that sort of make it happen, attacking football. And I think his football's brilliant to watch. So it's a very good move by the club after what's been a very difficult season. So yeah.
I'm going to ask this. I'm curious because I know you're a positive guy. What would you rate last season out of 10?
Blow my neck.
I'm sorry, I had to.
What did we give it? I'll give it a 6.
I give it a 5.
We went standard football rating, so 6 is average. Yeah, I thought we did as good as we could have done. I think.
I don't know. I'm always like, because I'm a bit glass half full, Mr. Positive. I always think you can always do a bit better.
Yeah.
I always tell myself when I'm on park run at Barnsley Lock Park, when I get to that third lap and I'm absolutely dying, and I'm like, I'm always like, you can do a bit better though, Joe. I'm like, I don't know if I can, but I can go on, I'll try. So I always believe you can do a bit better. I don't know. I'd probably say there were some good moments. I mean, McGoldrick were absolutely class, great to watch. And you have to remember, in a season where you've not gone up, you've not gone down, there's still good moments. There's still entertaining football.
There is.
So it's not fair to say, oh well, it was a terrible season, and say that it was terrible. It wasn't. There were moments where it were good. Luton, great game. We fought back against Bradford, it was in second game. I thought I was brilliant as well. Really good spirit. That's what you want to see from a Barnsley side. But overall, it was disappointing. I'd have to disagree. I think a 5.
Yeah.
A 5. It's where we're at, being realistic and listening to, John Flatman obviously talking about the financial situation. We have to be realistic as well. And it was really sadly disappointing. And it's upsetting because I really like Connor. I've liked Connor a long time. He was brilliant for us as a player, and I really desperately wanted him to succeed, and it just didn't quite happen for him. Yeah. And I think at the end, that Donny game summed it up for me. Donny game, it was like, no, that were a bit of a stinker, that game, weren't it? That was a poor moment at season. But the thing is, with football, we know, lads, that you can think, oh, we're all down at dumps. And I know we say it every season because we're like, come on, but it could change. It could be next season. Yeah. And I think this league's a bit, is this time? Is this time over?
Time's gone.
Camera's on you right now.
Talk too long. Yeah. So I think, you never know, do you? No. Like, it could happen. And I think it's a weaker league next season. Obviously, I know you've got Leicester coming down, which is an absolute, I can't believe they're going to be in this league with us, but,
I think you're going to see it a lot more with bigger clubs coming down, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the Championship...
They go for broke, don't they?
Yeah,
in Premier League, and then when it doesn't work, they're stuck on quite high wages with a lot of players. It's tough, that drop financially.
Yeah. This is the thing is, I'm glad that we're run sustainable, like as sustainably as possible at this level, because we know there's no such thing as really running, properly sustainably. I'm glad we've got owners that put the money in to make sure we can keep going. That's obviously, you've got to give them credit for that.
Yeah,
it's not just a black and white, oh, we didn't get promoted, so they're terrible. Oh, we did get promoted, they're amazing. It is, you've got to give them credit for that. But it's just, how do the club motivate fans and keep fans coming through, particularly those fans who, might be half and half whether they think it's worth coming or not. How do they motivate them to keep them coming? Because ultimately, a success is if we fill up well, we're going to be more successful.
Yes.
Yeah. We all agree with that because there's more money into the club, better atmospheres.
I've said many a times it passed when Oakwell's at its peak. Yeah. The crowd, I don't think there's a team in country who wouldn't have a hard time coming to that system.
You remember Flicker's season?
Yeah.
And we beat Hull 2-0 at home.
Oh, yeah. What a season.
It was rammed. Oakwell, all three corners stood up. Never seen West Ham sing. But that day I remember being sat there, I'm like, everybody's singing around me. All boys, everybody's getting behind him. And when Chris O'Grady scored in like 60 odd minute, I was like, we might actually stay up here. Like, oh my God. And Alt Pontiend and Alt East Stand was singing Flicker's name and he loving it. And I'm just like, this is what I know it to be. And like, obviously you have your Eki season and Stendel's season. But there's moments like that where you think, we're all coming together again.
It's starting to brew. It's starting to brew, especially with the likes of yourselves, but Tights Union as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think we stand with Stendhal coming in. I think we're expecting a comeback of the Barnsley.
See a lot more positivity on
atmosphere next season, I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, but we all know it's amazing what's happening. Obviously, what Tights Union have done with with the mural, brilliant work, and that's what we need. We need all fans to come together and be united as one and say, right, we are going to do this sort of stuff. And that's again partly why I set Red All Over up to try and be part of that, give another platform. But ultimately, we all know it's got to be on pitch first.
Yes.
If we're winning games,
agree.
Oakwell's rocking. If we're losing games, we're all miserable and we're all
Oakwell's still rocking, but in the wrong way. That's the problem.
Well, this is it. I think that this club are a fantastic football club, and with the history of the club, and there's those moments. We've all got those moments where we're like, wow. Yeah. What a moment. Yeah. I mean, Adam Hamill scoring them goals at Wembley. Wow, what a moment that were. And, going back further when we beat Liverpool and Chelsea in FA Cup, and it's brilliant that we've had them moments. It just feels further and further away at the minute because it's been a little while now since we've had some really top moments. We've still had some decent moments, but we need to bring it back. And I think that when this club does get out at League One and get back up to the Championship, then hopefully we'll see a return. But we just need to get through this.
What do you think will be a successful season then next year?
Obviously first.
HMS Pistol League, right?
I don't know. What's a successful season? I think I know we've got the money thing, and they talk about money and what budget are we going to have, middle at table budget. But Barnsley's still a decent-sized club for this league. So I don't think we should be having that mentality, oh, well, because of budget. I think we've got to... I'm not saying we shouldn't be unrealistic. We've got to be humble and realistic about where we're at.
Yeah, definitely.
But we've got to strive for top 6. We've got to be going into it saying, come on, guys, this is here for it. Other teams are doing that. I mean, Lincoln did that last season. Look what happened to them. They were brilliant.
Yeah.
So why not Barnsley? We've got to get that mentality back that, yes, we can do it. And we've got to try and push forward. And I think for me, I always think we should be top 6, and that's not me being big-headed or anything like that. We've got to be challenging for top 6 at least. I'm not happy to just say, oh, well, if you finish 10th, that's another decent season. Time's ticking by, lads. I'm getting wrinklier every season. You know what I mean? I want to see us back in Prem at some point, and
Yeah, I wish. I'd love them days back.
I don't want to be here with August going, next season we're going to go out to League One. I don't want any of that, right?
Oh, were it Rochdale who stayed in? They didn't.
They stayed in National League, yeah.
No, I can't remember who it was.
You were the only person who wasn't happy for York going up.
Oh, yeah.
Because his second team's Rochdale.
Oh, all right.
I love Rochdale. Purely because Keithville, don't ask me why, and because of Football Manager. I just love Rochdale ever since.
What we like teams for.
Yeah, and there's a YouTuber I watch, he's called Inter Malaga, and it's similar to what we do. He just goes to games. Similar to what Katie Lee does, he goes to games, he watches them and then just rates them after.
Yeah.
And it's like, last 3 years have been miserable for him, and then this season it's mint. So it's just stuff like that.
This is it. Can all turn around.
This is why I buy my season ticket every year, because I'm like, should I sit there and be miserable all season again? No, the season I don't buy one, we'll finish top, undefeated with 100 points.
That would be very Barnsley.
If that's the pinnacle of what Barnsley's about. Right, have you got any more questions, mate?
That's it from me, mate.
So there's one question we ask every single guest, Joe. We've asked every single one so far, and we've obviously gone very much into your life and how you've dealt with stuff, and I think where you've come from, I take my hat off to you, mate, I really do. How do you personally define a good life?
Following Jesus. Following Jesus, that's for me, that's a good life. And the reason being is all the things we've talked about tonight, is that if you follow Jesus, truly follow him, and he says that the most important things to live by is love. And that's loving, God with all your heart and loving people. People that you agree with, people you disagree with, people from all backgrounds. So if you have that, and then you have the fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, faithfulness, kindness, all those things that I've mentioned before, if you've got that, you'll just live a better life because you'll just want to do good. It's serving others is the thing. And it sounds so backwards in this world where a lot of people just want to strive for money and fame and power. But actually, just try it. Just Google it, whatever, research it, and you'll find that Jesus is love. If you truly follow Jesus, you'll have love in your heart and it will overspill to other people, and you'll make a positive difference, and you'll live a life that you will one day look back on and go, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Love that.
Beautiful.
I love that, Matt.
This
is your opportunity to plug yourself. Do you
want to tell
the cameras?
Hello, I'm Joe.
How to find you on socials, everything like that.
You might see me dressed as Spider-Man on TikTok. I'm at Joe BEARDSALL, I think. Something like that. I'm on Clock, TikTok for you young'uns if you like, seeing that sort of stuff. I'm on Facebook, for anybody who's I don't know what age group's Facebook these days.
It's getting older now, isn't it?
I mean, I'm 33 and I love Facebook, so I'm bringing it back down. I'm like, come on, guys, So Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I don't really know what I'm doing there, and I'm trying to be on YouTube a bit, but I ain't got time to do long videos. So, but Joe BEARDSALL, if you want to follow me, you can.
In other words, he's more famous than us, so search him on Google and you'll find him somewhere.
we were actually saying, it's weird you said that, because you're not chasing fame, and you can tell that sort of thing, but it's also strange in a contrast. You're probably one of the most recognisable faces in Barnsley. Yeah.
So to put it in perspective, actually, 2019, you'll not remember this video, right? But you shared it at the time. I can't remember what you're doing at the time, and I was buzzing that you shared it.
John Stones.
John Stones, you know, dancing, that Billie Eilish video.
Oh, yeah.
That was me who made it, and everybody was sharing it, and you shared it, and I was like, oh my God, this is mint, it's going everywhere. And I remember somebody saying to me, oh, John has seen it, and I'm like, there's no way. And it's like, get in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you never know, guys. You never know.
So yeah, to say you're recognisable is an understatement, mate.
Oh, only in Barnsley. On the outside of the world. I don't know about anywhere else.
Right, do you want to...
Yeah, that's been an episode. That's all the ways you can find us. You want to do it with me, Reese?
We can't afford sound effects.
AYCT.official, Instagram, TikTok, Or You Can Talk podcast on YouTube. Thank you for all support recently. Joe, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
Are we doing some sort of like, what? What did you do before? What?
One.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, we'll do it. It's been great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Love it.
Peace.